Hello and welcome. This video is for people who are preparing for the Duolingo English Test. My objective is to present some useful words and phrases that could help you improve your performance in the exam. On the screen at the moment I have some phrases that you could use to begin your talk. The first phrase has an interesting idiom, springs to mind. The next phrase has a second conditional structure, so the level of grammar is quite high. For the purposes of is a phrase we can use to explain why we are doing something. Another example could be, I came to London for the purpose of seeing you. This word can be in singular or plural. It depends how many purposes you have for your action. I'm now going to talk about transitioning. This means moving from one topic or idea to a different one. Transition words and phrases, like the ones on the screen, are quite sophisticated. They're generally for high-level learners. And don't forget that lexical sophistication is one of the language features that Duolingo uses to assess your answers. You can use these expressions when you want to change to a different question. Words like first and what's more are useful when you want to give different reasons for your answers. Also, imagine that you're ready to finish your talk, but suddenly you remember something important that you want to say. No problem, just use one of these expressions here to introduce your new idea. The second extended speaking task that I'm going to talk about is called picture description. I've got an example of this task on the screen. Obviously, when you take the exam, you'll see a different photograph. Therefore, I want to present some advice and some language that you can take and use to describe any picture. Let's start with two useful phrases. In the foreground means at the front of the picture, the part that is nearest to you. In the background is the opposite. Now let's talk about grammar for a few seconds. When you describe actions in a photo, you should use the present continuous. That's a grammar structure that has a subject, the verb to be, and then a verb with ing. Also, I recommend that you speculate about what you can see. Here, I've written that the four people appear to be a family. In other words, they look like a family, they probably are a family, but I can't be 100% certain. I mean, the two children in the middle could be friends. I've got two more examples of how you can speculate about images. This is a nice phrase to remember, and when we use it, it means we have a high degree of certainty. Remember, if you speculate about things in your photograph, it will encourage you to use high-level grammar and vocabulary. There is another extended speaking task that Duolingo uses, and it's this one. You're given a topic and some questions related to it. This time, however, you have to listen, not read, and you're not allowed to write down what you hear. If that's stressful, then I suggest that you imagine you're talking to a friend. In that way, you might feel a little bit more relaxed. Remember, you can listen to the audio more than once. We're now coming to the end of this video from the 5-Minute Exam English channel. I hope it was interesting and useful for you. Let me know if you liked it, because if this becomes a popular video, I'll make one more on the topic of Duolingo speaking. Thank you for watching. I hope you do well when you take your exam.